Welcome to the European Championships. We are here in Chamonix, the site of the very first Winter Olympics in 1924. This small commune is home to just 9,800 people, but it boasts one of France's oldest skiing resorts and also the largest mountain in all of Western Europe, Mount Blanc. Standing at 15,781 feet, it attracts over 20,000 mountaineering tourists each year. We're here for the 10th Lead and Speed European Championships, traditionally held every 2 years since the competition began in 1992. Since then, we've seen 28 different champions, and we're here now to find ourselves 4 more from the 20 different nations gathered to compete.
Well, here we are. Who's ready for a speed final? I'm very much on cue. A speed start as well. They're already away. This is Alexandra Rudzinska against Natalia Yakovleva, and you can see here the Polish athlete pulling ahead. Remember, this is a race again here. 8.53 sees Rudzinska through into the next round. I do apologise for the quick start. It's crept up on us, but right in tune with what we were expecting for speed. They start quick, and here they are. Alexandra Rudzinska then moving forward into the next stage of the women's final here with 8.53 her time. Earlier today she had an 8.44 was her fastest time. Saw her through at the top of the women's list. These next two athletes then, God, they are moving quick, aren't they, today? Klaudia Buczek for Poland on the left, up against Alina Gajda-Makina on the right. Earlier then today, we saw Klaudia Buczek with a time of 9.27. She's up against Gajda-Makina with a time of 9.67 earlier today. This could be close. Gajda-Makina, our world ranked number 2, climbing relatively slow here compared to what we're used to seeing from her. Let's see how she gets on here today. Buczek earlier, world ranked 11th. Here they are getting ready. Straight off, and away we go again then. Gajda-Makina starting to pick up that time that she lost out in the qualifications here, though. It's looking like it's going to be Gajda-Makina. Buczek falling behind. It is Gajda-Makina with 8.34. The fastest time we've seen here so far. Gajda-Makina through to the next round of the finals here. This 6C graded route on a 5% incline. Unfortunately not an official wall, which means we've got no world records to be set here, unfortunately, as we're not climbing on an official wall. Our next two athletes then, Anok Jalbert on the left hand side, and on the right Nina Lach of Austria. Anok Jalbert world ranked 10th in speed climbing, current World Cup ranking. Was 4th after Chongqing. Made it through into the final rounds in Baku just recently, but not into the higher section of that one. Nina Lach next to her here, and they're away. Anok Jalbert starts to take a lead. Can Nina Lach pull this one back? Already into the 5th second here. Anok Jalbert still holding it, nearly a body length ahead. No, and it's 8.75 there. 8.75. And a round of applause from the crowd here in France as Jalbert moves forward into the next round of the finals. As I said before, if you are new to this particular discipline of climbing, this one is a race. In the qualifications earlier, it was just the fastest time. Now we go head to head in a knockout round set of finals. We've got the men's to come after this as well. Our next two athletes then will be Julia Lewicz-Kina up against Patricia Szudziak. Szudziak of Poland with a time earlier of 10.06. Julia Lewicz-Kina with a time of 8.75. Now that is quite a difference in terms of speed climbing here. 2-second difference between these two athletes. Bearing in mind as well that Julia Lewicz-Kina was a previous world record holder, and she set those world records herself here in Chamonix. How can she get on here in the finals? Still neck and neck then at this point. Lewicz-Kina starting to take a lead. Szudziak not wanting to go out though. Lewicz-Kina, but only just at the moment. A slip there for a moment, but she has done it in 9.08. 9.08. Julia Lewicz-Kina through into the next round. Still not as fast as we've seen from Gaida Makina earlier with 8.34. Perhaps she's saving herself for the later rounds. Remember as well, thinking back all the way to that time here in Chamonix 2012, Gaida Makina set the world record, broke the world record 3 times here and still ended up in 4th place. She didn't take a medal after breaking the world record. Our next 2 athletes out then will be Maria Krasavina on the left-hand side and Monika Prokopiuk on the right. 2 very well-known climbers in the speed discipline. Krasavina world rank 4th on the left-hand side. Prokopiuk for Poland just next to her. So this is the last 16, as you can see there. These are the 16 athletes that are now battling for the 8 places in the next stage of our finals here. Here we are, Maria Krasavina taking an early lead here. Prokopiuk trying to pull it back, but it's going to be Krasavina by the look of things. She's got a body head ahead of her now, a full body. 8.29 against 9.50. It is Maria Krasavina currently now leading the pack. 8.29, the fastest time we've seen here so far in these finals by Krasavina. Our next 2 athletes then, Yulia Kaplina, the current world record holder. We had that momentary heart-stopping moment earlier today where we thought that she'd actually faulted twice and that she would have been eliminated for that. It was actually an early start by a belayer who had to stand on the other pad for the way that this system works. If you want to catch that, you can go back and watch the replay. But here is Yulia Kaplina, our current world record holder, up against Ala Marienc on the right-hand side. Marienc here taking the lead. Kaplina starting to pull it back. This is looking good for Kaplina. 8.87. Yulia Kaplina moves through into the next stage. We would expect to see it. She took the gold medal, remember, as well in Baku just recently. Our next pairing will be Anna Saiganova of Russia up against Anastasia Shimkova of the Ukraine. Here's a replay for you though. You can see Yulia Kaplina, a couple of slips there. Not necessarily big slips, but they were not as firm on the land. So Anna Saiganova comes out for us now with Anastasia Shimkova. Welcome if you are joining us. We're here at the finals for the European Championships in speed. The crowd next to us is huge. The square is packed now. You can feel the tension in the air. No false starts yet either. I don't want to jinx it, but here we go. Saiganova flying into the lead here. And that was fast, 9.06. 9.06 for Saiganova. Our final draw then in the first 16 before we move briefly over to the men's and their first 16. Here's the side cam for you. You can see where they are on the wall. In a replay for you. A nice firm climb there from her. Saiganova moving through to the next round. Our next one then will be Ksenia Polakina of Russia and Stephanie Pichler of Austria. Pichler trying to keep calm. World rank 16th Pichler. Was 14th in the World Cup rankings at the end of last year. So deserves to be here within the top 16. 24 years old. Born and lives in Gaflenz. And a false start. I told you I'd jinx it. Here we are with Ksenia Polakina. Remember, guys, you can get in touch with us using the hashtag IFSCWC. Let me know who you think the medalists are going to be here in the finals. Tension here mounting now. Here we are, and you can see Polakina waiting till she heard that one. Then another one like that would have cost her, and she would have been eliminated. Pichler, despite the head start, falling behind here. It is going to be Polakina, 9.19. Unfortunately, we say goodbye to Stephanie Pichler. Polakina moves forward. Now then, we move over to the men's category. Here's a replay for you of that last climb. And here are the first of our male athletes. It is Libor Hroza, the world ranked number 2, up against Alexander Shikov. Libor Hroza with a time earlier of 6.22 seconds. 15-meter wall in 6.22 seconds. And he's here with Alexander Shikov with a time earlier of 7.10. Divided by just over a second. Libor Hroza for the Czech Republic. Alexander Shikov of Russia. The crowd falls quiet. And we're away, no false starts here. Hroza taking an early lead. Shikov trying to pull it back, but Hroza is powering ahead. It is Hroza, 6.67. He was eliminated in Baku. They had the conjecture around Hroza at the World Championships as well. Hasn't had a gold medal for a while. Hroza, he's going to be hungry for it as well. Very passionate speed climber. Libor Hroza moves forward with a time of 6.67. Our next draw then, and this is the one to get marginally excited about. Stanislav Kokorin, the world ranked number 1, against Leonardo Gontero, the young Italian athlete that has just really started to push his ranking up over the past couple of World Cups. Gontero with a time earlier of 6.65 seconds. Stanislav Kokorin, the world ranked number 1, with a time earlier of 6.60 seconds. This could be close. It'll be a shame to see either of these contestants leaving us at this stage in the final, but one of them has to, due to the draw. A false start by Gontero here. The clocks are reset. Here we are then, Kokorin. And Gontero, Kokorin has fallen. Unbelievable. And Gontero does get there, 7.30 seconds. Stanislav Kokorin must be kicking himself right now. A fall within the first third of the wall. Kokorin is out and Gontero moves forward. And that's how quick it can change here in the speed finals. There's that fall, just disappearing from the camera there, Kokorin. And then there was that moment up here now when Gontero nearly slipped. A little pause. And makes it in 7.30. A slow climb though. Gontero goes through into the next round. Our world ranked number 1 is out. Our next athletes then will be Evgeny Wojciechowski, previous European champion. Held it for 2 years. Oh, sorry, 2 European championships in a row. He's on the left hand side here. The European Championships happens traditionally every 2 years. And next to him, Johan Locusta. Johan Locusta, world ranked 26th. False start from Locusta here as well. Wojciechowski, world ranked 7th. but he's been as high as 4th in 2011. Another thing worth bearing in mind, Evgeny is the current world record holder, 5.88 seconds. That's as fast as he's climbed beforehand. Interesting there. Looked like Wojciechowski was the first to start. But it said it was Lacusta. It looks like Johan Lacusta is out here, so Wojciechowski automatically through, but he climbs anyway. 7.34, that's slow for him considering he can do it in 5.88. Actually the slowest climb we've seen here, but I suppose he only has to get there. So it is Wojciechowski that goes through a time of 7.34. Our next two then will be Yaroslav Gontarek of the Ukraine against Quentin Nambo of France. Gontarek an earlier time of 6.43 seconds in the qualifying round. Nambo with a time of 6.90. Both fast, these athletes. You can see Nambot there in the mental preparation he's going through. Rightly so, he's now up against Gontarek, who's world ranked number 4. We would expect Gontarek to win this one, but then having just seen Kokorin go out, our world ranked number 1, anything can happen here. Here we are then, a slip early on from Nambo, has lost it to Gontarek here. Look at the speed from this Ukrainian athlete, 6.56. Completely calm and collected after that as well, 6.56 seconds. Currently the fastest time that we've seen here in this final. Gontarek goes through. Some interesting draws happening here as we move through to the next section in the men's as well. We have Libor Rosa against Gontero later on, and then Wojciechowski against Gontarek so far. All the big names in speed climbing making it through to the next round. Here are our next two then. Danilo Boldyrev up against Sergei Luzgetsky. Danilo Boldyrev on the left-hand side and Sergei Luzgetsky on the right. What's going to happen here? Who's going to be our next one to go through to the exciting draws that we're seeing happening in the men's final stages? Danilo Boldyrev, world ranked number 3, 21 years old. Shot up from 32nd on the World Cup rankings at the end of 2011 to 2nd by the end of 2012. That is an increase of 29 placements, Danilo Boldyrev, in 1 year. Here he is on the left-hand side, Luzgetsky on the right. A hush from the crowd. Here we are, no false start, we are away. Boldyrev taking the lead, Luzgetsky trying to fight for it, but it's going to be Boldyrev, and it is. 6.36 seconds. Now again the fastest time we've seen here in the men's so far. At this stage of the final, Boldyrev makes it through. World ranked number 3 with 6.36 seconds. Our next athletes out then, Nikita Shushkin of Russia up against Arseny Shevchenko. Two Russian athletes, neck and neck. Time earlier for these two athletes. Shevchenko with a time of 6.79, Shoyushkin with a time of 6.55. Both of them under 7 seconds. Shoyushkin on the left, Arseny Shevchenko on the right. The Russians well known for dominating this discipline in climbing. The Ukrainian athletes don't have to give them a run for their money as well. Also some of the Polish athletes. We've got a couple of French here in the final as well. False start from Shevchenko. Mental preparation again here from Shevchenko and Shoyushkin. And here we go. Shevchenko, Shoyushkin, neck and neck. Shoyushkin falling behind here. It's going to be Shevchenko, unless he can pull it back at the last. Not quite enough. 6.85 seconds. It goes to Shevchenko. Our next two then in the draw. Our next French athlete, Bassa Mawem, up against Ruslan Faizulin of Russia. Earlier today then, Bassa Mawem 6.42 in the qualification stage, overall putting him in third place. Ruslan Faizulin ended up in 14th place with a time of 7.02. It should be Bassa going through then by the looks of this. There you can see Bassa on the left-hand side, Ruslan on the right. Saw Bassa Mawem in Baku just recently, world ranked 17th, was 16th at the end of last year on the World Cup rankings at the age of 28. He's from Nancy. 8th at both Arco and Chamonix last year. Bassa Mawem, Ruslan Faizulin on the right, the crowd right behind this French athlete here on home turf. Can he improve on last year's score? False start from Ruslan Faizulin. Now all Bassa has to do to improve on last year's score is win this race, and then he's at least matched it. He'll be through to the next 8. Here's a replay of that happening. Again, it looks like Bassa is the first to move, but it's not. It's Faizulin caused that false start. Here we go then, both athletes back at the wall, starting positions. False start from Bassa Mawem this time. Having a look at it at the replay. And yeah, you can see definite first movement there from Bassa. Wanted to carry on by the looks of things. Now there cannot be any more false starts from either of these athletes, otherwise they'll be eliminated, and it's going to be Bassa in front of the home crowd. 2 false starts, eliminated from the competition. You can see there the first movement from Bassa again. Bassa Mawem, a wave to the crowd. What an unfortunate occurrence here. 2 false starts and you're out, guys. Ruslan Faizulin, therefore, moving through into the next round, but he still has to climb here. Faizulin time earlier of 7.02. You can see here, relatively slow, steady, taking his time. All he has to do is top. 9.84. Faizulin through to the next round. final climb then, Marcin Dziecięcki up against Jerzy Komozinski, both athletes from Poland. Looking at their results from earlier, Dziecięcki with a time of 6.45 seconds. And next to him, Komozinski with a time of 6.82. So, Dziecięcki with the faster time earlier today. And not much in it. 6.45 against 6.82. Interesting to see the different style of the athlete and where they tuck the belay rope. Full start from Komozinski here. You can see he's keeping the rope in front of him. Dziecięcki tucking it behind the arm. I can definitely see why it would get rather annoying to have that rope dangling in front of your face as you're trying to be accurate as you possibly can and as fast as you can. You imagine the pressure that's on these athletes now to perform and to perform within the rules and regulations provided for them. To be asked to approach the wall and move away from it so many times. Mentally exhausting already, and they haven't even climbed. Here we are, no full starts here then. Neck and neck. Dziecięcki starting to pull. No, still neck and neck. Very, very close. 6.48 to 6.55. Marcin Dziecięcki. 6.48 seconds. Dziecięcki moves into the next stage of the finals here. So, there's your replay for you. You can see there that even though he tucked it behind his arm, it ended up in front of him, Dziecięcki, the rope as he climbed that one. But with both of those athletes having completed their climb, we have our 8 athletes for the men's in the next stage. We go back over to the female athletes now. And the next stage of the finals, the next set of races. The first one then, Rudzinska up against Gejda Makina. This should be close. Rudzinska, world ranked 5th. Gejda Makina, world ranked 2nd. Their times earlier, 8.44 for Rudzinska. She had the fastest time, despite being world ranked 5th. Gejda Makina earlier with a time of 9.67. A big difference there between these athletes. Can Rudzinska do it again? Rudzinska on the left, Gejda Makina on the right. It's Rudzinska at the moment. Gejda Makina slipping a little bit here. Can Rudzinska get it? It is. It's Rudzinska. Gejda Makina frustrated on that one there. 8.36 seconds. Faster than her time earlier. Rudzinska through to the next stage. Alexandra Rudzinska through to the quarterfinals. Our next 2 athletes out then. Anok Jalbert up against Julia Lewachkina. Jalbert with a time at the previous round of 8.75 seconds. Lewachkina with a time of 9.08. Despite being a previous world record holder. Earlier as well, Jalbert did faster than Lewachkina. 8.75 to Jalbert and 8.79 to Lewachkina. Anok Jalbert on the left, Lewachkina on the right. Jalbert performing better today. Can Lewachkina beat her here and now? Lewachkina starting to take the lead. Jalbert trying to hold it too. It's Lewachkina, 8.56. Only just. What a disappointment here for France. Seeing quite a few of their athletes losing out on a place here. Levochkina through to the next round, where she'll face Rudzinska. Making for an exciting final, though. Our next draw then will be Krasavina. Maria Krasavina against Julia Kaplina, world record holder on the right. Krasavina, the second fastest time earlier today, 8.67. Krasavina also climbed faster than Kaplina did in the last round with a time of 8.29. Julia Kaplina a time of 8.87. So Krasavina has been putting in the better performance all the way through today, despite Julia Kaplina having won the last World Cup in Baku and also currently having the world record. Krasavina or Kaplina? Place your bets.
Allez, please, big applause for the Russian girl, everybody. Allez, Krasavina against Kaplina. 4 Russes encore dans ces quarts de finale. À Chamonix. Alors, DJ là, tu sais que dès que ça part, tu peux taquer, balancer de la musique à 2 maisons décollées, la priorité. Ready?
Here we are then, Krasavina taking the lead. Can Kaplina get it back? Yes, Krasavina has fallen. It's Kaplina all the way here. Oh no, Krasavina just must have been a stall there. It wasn't a fall. She managed to complete 10.55, but it's 8.96. Julia Kaplina that moves forward. 8.96. It's not the fastest that we've seen here. Still with Rudzinska in this round. Our last draw then for this stage of the women's final will be Anna Saigonova up against Xenia Polakina. Saigonova with a time of 9.06 earlier. Polakina with a time of 9.19. Saigonova, though, was third to qualify in the qualification round with a time of 8.69 seconds. So it should go to Saigonova. But has Polakina been holding something back at the last? Well, we see it here now. Russia versus Russia. Polakina trying, but it's looking like it's going to be Saigonova here all the way through to the last. It is 8.40. 8.40, the second fastest time in this stage. It is Saigonova that moves forward. So it's back over to the men's then for their stage of this. Gontero with a time of 7.30. Libor Rosa also with the fastest time in the qualification, 6.22. Athletes taking their starting positions. Here we are, Rosa taking the lead here. And it's Rosa, only just 6.21 seconds. He wanted it. It's been a while since he's progressed all the way through to the very last stages of a final. Rosa, 6.21 seconds. Here it is in the replay. Gontero really pushing for this one. Very close as well, 6.37 seconds next to 6.21. But it is Rosa that moves through into the next stage. Our next draw then will be Evgeny Wojciechowski, the current European champion up against Jaroslav Gonteric. Wojciechowski also the world record holder. 5.88 seconds. Gonteric and Wojciechowski. Here we are then, it's Wojciechowski at the moment. Boldyrev desperately trying to take the lead. Is it going to be them? It's Gonteric, only just, but look at the excitement on his face there. 6.35, he knew he had to be fast and he was. It's Gonteric knocking out the world record holder. It's been surprising all the way through this one. You can see Wojciechowski fighting for it there, but Gonteric just would not let up. Fantastic, you see the relief as well. He moves forward into the next round. A shout out then to the Whites who are expecting a baby. Danny Horsenet, and Lisa White, who are expecting a baby anytime soon and are watching right now. A shout out to you guys. And of course to Christina Roper. But back to really fast climbing. Danilo Boldyrev up against Arseny Shevchenko. Boldyrev earlier 6.36 seconds. Shevchenko earlier 6.85 seconds. So technically it's Boldyrev at this stage. He also put in the second fastest climb in the qualification stage, 6.37 seconds. Here they are now, neck and neck. Will it be Boldyrev for the Ukraine or Shevchenko for Russia? Boldyrev taking the lead here. It looks like it's going to be Ukraine again, like we just saw with Gontero. It is 6.23. Ukraine dominating this final here. 6.23 seconds. It is Boldyrev that moves forward. And our last draw then, Ruslan Fayzulin up against Marcin Dziecięcki. Currently have Libor Hroza, the Czech Republic, up against Jaroslav Gonteric of the Ukraine in the next stage ahead of this one. And Danilo Boldyrev up against either Marcin Dziecięcki or Ruslan Fayzulin. Fayzulin here on the left, Dziecięcki on the right. By all accounts, it should be Dziecięcki. 6.48 seconds in the last round up against Fayzulin's 9.84, although he was slow, as he didn't really need to race Bassa Mawem because Bassa was eliminated. I apologise. False start by Fayzulin. Marcin Dziecięcki earlier was the 6th fastest climber in the qualifications with a time of 6.45 seconds. Well, that there was clearly the second fault from Fayzulin, which means Dziecięcki goes through, but he's getting to climb here. Up against the young lad in a white t-shirt. No, I am of course joking, but Dziecięcki, a fault here, which is interesting. I wonder what would happen if Dziecięcki faulted twice as well here now. Would he be eliminated? Boldyrev automatically going through to the final. He needs to take his time here, let the buzzer go. All he has to do is top. He's not racing anyone.
Il attend parce que c'est dommage de se faire sortir tout seul.
Here is Marcin then. You can see the long pause there for the buzzer. And now the speed comes in. A slip, 9.45. Right, so Dziecianski goes through up against Boldarev in the next round. Now we go back over to the women's again. This is to decide who gets the place in the final. So it's going to be Alexandra Rudzinska up against Yulia Levachkina. Whoever wins this will get a shot at the gold medal. And automatically there will get at least the silver. The loser of that will then go through into the small final and get to compete for the bronze. So whoever wins this one gets a shot and gets to go forward into the gold and silver medal category. It's Rudzinska on the left, Levachkina on the right. Rudzinska put in the faster climb earlier today. In this finals, Rudzinska 8.53 and then an 8.36. Levachkina a 9.08 and then an 8.56. So Rudzinska's been climbing faster today. Here we are, no false starts, neck and neck. Same movements here, but it's looking like Rudzinska's taking a lead. Levachkina has a slip, Rudzinska has a slip. And it is still Rudzinska, 9.34. Rudzinska goes through. 9.34 seconds. Unfortunately, Levachkina now committed into the stage. It's a repeat of exactly what happened to her the last time she climbed here in Chamonix. Condemned into the small final and then lost that one as well. Ended up in 4th place the last time we saw her here in Chamonix. Levachkina, can she at least take the bronze, or will history repeat itself here today? Our next athletes up then will be Yulia Kaplina against Anna Saigonova. Kaplina with a time of 8.96 earlier today. Saigonova with a time of 8.40 in the last round. Saigonova climbing faster. Although the round before that, Kaplina climbing faster than Saigonova. And as we know, Kaplina holding the current world record for women. 8.05 rather. Is it going to be Kaplina on the left, or will it be Saigonova on the right? Nice clean start. Saigonova taking a lead. Kaplina needs to push something ahead here if she's going to have a chance of going through to the main final, but no. By 100th of a second, 8.13 against 8.14. 100th of a second, Saigonova goes through. Unbelievable. Couldn't have been more closer if they'd planned it. Saigonova through. .13. Kaplina still with her fastest time today. This is actually quite close. For the women's, we'll come back to that in a few moments' time. Here though, we have Libor Hroza up against Yaroslav Gontarek. This is going to be very, very fast and very heated. Libor Hroza, an extremely passionate climber, but as you saw Gontarek at that top earlier, also screaming at the top. But Hroza wants a shot at the gold and silver medal. He hasn't had a gold medal for a long time. Gontarek wants it just as bad. This is going to be fast, and we could see with the tension as well a fall here. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Tension can always get in the way. Rosa on the left, Gontarek on the right. Tarek moving away from the wall, being called by one of the judges at the bottom there. Rosa there just punching some imaginary fairies away from where he can see the top of the wall. No, he's actually just miming through what he's going to be doing in a few moments' time. You'll see a lot of these athletes doing that. Rosa on the left, Yaroslav Gontarek on the right. It was heated. Look at the start there though from Rosa. Gontarek has gone. It's Rosa all the way. 6.16. Exactly what he wanted. I did tell you that when the pressure gets to that sort of stage, you often see the slips and the falls. Such a shame to bid goodbye to Gontarek there without a complete race. Here's the replay of it happening. Gontarek, foothold, missed there with the right, you can see it. And just not enough forward momentum to allow him to get the hands up to the next hold. Rosa waltzing his way up the wall. And there it is. So Rosa goes through to the grand final, and Gontarek a chance for a bronze medal. So our next two athletes then will be Danilo Boldyrev, number 44, up against Marcin Dziecięcki, number 50. Boldyrev with much faster times in this competition from earlier on. The facts say it should be Boldyrev, but Dziecięcki has been desperate for that climb since he was denied it a few moments ago against Faisolin. Can he pull something out of the bag here? Still neck and neck, I don't want to call it. Dziecięcki with a slip, Boldyrev with a stumble and another slip. It's going to be Dziecięcki. Unbelievable. Boldyrev slipping at the last. You can see the annoyance on his face there. 7.62 seconds. Dziecięcki goes through to the grand final. A chance then for a gold medal for Marcin Dziecięcki and at least a silver. And would you believe it, Boldyrev and Gontarek in the small final. With Kokorin nowhere in sight. We lost Kokorin at the first stage of the 16. So, small final comes up along now for us for the women's. This is going to be Yulia Levachkina, which is number 21, up against Yulia Kaplina, number 24. Levachkina, previous world record holder. Yulia Kaplina, the current world record holder. This should be good. Will the same thing happen to Yulia Levachkina as it did last year at Chamonix? Will she be condemned to the 4th place forever whenever she competes at Chamonix, or can she pull something out of the bag here? The trouble about that is Yulia Kaplina has been putting in some very, very fast climbs recently. She's just won a gold medal at Baku, and after losing out on that spot in the grand final, Kaplina is going to be driving for this bronze medal here. She's going to want it. The young and up-and-coming athlete, Yulia Levachkina, trying to fight her off as the more experienced climber. It's been an exciting speed final here. False start from Kaplina. I believe that marks her second. She could be about to be eliminated. Levachkina could get it by default. It's not the way you want to win it, but at least she gets the bronze. Here's the replay of it happening. Look at the concentration on that Bilayer's face. It looked like a similar start there. Apparently the mats don't lie. It looked like Levachkina was asking whether she actually had to climb there for the bronze medal. They've said that she didn't have to, so a bit of a shame not to please the crowd, but there you are, Levachkina, bronze medal. That's how it's happened. Just turn up, put a rope on, take it off again, you get a bronze medal. Here we are then, small final for the men's. Yaroslav Gontarek up against Danilo Boldarev. Gontarek, the slip earlier, the fall, didn't finish the route. Boldarev, the slip right at the very last, and just missed out on a place in the grand final. And here they are then for the bronze medal. Let's hope we get to actually see a climb this time, not just how to put on and take off a rope. False start from Gontarek. We might be seeing the automatic rope swapping bronze medal. The elusive rope swapping bronze medal comes out every now and then. Is that the second fault for Gontarek? That's the question. Both athletes here opting for that tucked behind the shoulder rope stance. It's not looking like they're about to be taking off some ropes. And yes, we get to see it again. Come on now, lads, no more false starts. And there wasn't. We get to see a climb. Look at Boldarev, look at the speed here. Gontarek falls again. 6.06 gives Boldarev the bronze medal. The interesting thing about that is that actually Danilo Boldarev has just put in the fastest climb of the entire men's competition so far. And all it's got him is the bronze medal. He has climbed faster than now, after this one, than every other male athlete at this competition in the European Championships. Boldarev with a time of 6.06. The fastest climb we've seen here in Chamonix at the European Championships. And all it gets him is the bronze medal. But there you are. That's what those couple of earlier mistakes have cost him. But still, a bronze medal there. Gontarek falling again. Such a shame to see somebody of that standard. Couple of mistakes and you're out. Fourth place there for Yaroslav Gontarek. Here we are with the women's grand final now. So it will be Alexandra Rodzinska, number 7, up against Anna Saigonova, number 6. Rodzinska on the left, Saigonova on the right. Here they are then for the gold medal here in Chamonix. It's going to be Saigonova by the look of things. Rodzinska desperate to get there, but no. It goes to Saigonova. Anna Saigonova with 8.12 seconds is the new European champion of speed climbing. Rodzinska in second, a time of 8.12 up against 8.18. Very, very close. Again, some of the fastest that we've seen here at this competition in the women's category. It's all over, chaps. Gold medal to Anna Saigonova, silver to Alexandra Rodzinska, and bronze to Yulia Levachkina, breaking the Chamonix curse for her. It's time to go over to the men's grand final, which is against two very well-known athletes. Libor Hroza, number 78, up against Marcin Dziecięcki, number 50. Could it be a gold medal for Hroza after all this time? He's got a good chance of doing it here. Dziecięcki is not quite in the same league as Hroza when it comes to this style of climbing. Marcin Dziecięcki is fast by all means, but Hroza's the world ranked number 2. Not only a gold medal at stake here for Libor Hroza, but also the European Championship title in speed climbing. Trying to keep himself calm, you can see him doing it there. Deep breathing. Just don't false start. Tension builds. No false start. Hroza taking an early lead. Dziecięcki trying to pull it back. It's going to be Hroza. It's close though. It is Hroza, the first gold medal for him since 2010. The first gold medal since 2010. And that was here at Chamonix. It's obviously a good place for him. 6.03 seconds. Gives him the gold medal and the European Championship. Well deserved, I think, after a bad run recently. Dziecięcki not really condemned to second as such, but second place nonetheless. Silver medal for Marcin Dziecięcki there of Poland, and a fantastic result for him as well. But Libor Hroza, the first gold medal since 2010. Fantastic turnaround there for the athlete from the Czech Republic. And we get to hear that anthem. He knows it as well. European champion for speed, Libor Hroza. So, first place Libor Hroza, second place Marcin Dziecięcki, and third place Danilo Boldyrev. And there you are, Hroza now has put the fastest time in at the competition, 6.03 seconds. The crowd milling. We're about to be bringing you the awards ceremony then for the speed athletes. We'll be bringing you in that just a short amount of time. You can see it's night time here now. In a few moments they'll be emerging onto this stage to collect their medals and be presented as the European Champion 2013. Libor Hroza and Anna Saigonova. I'll hand you over to our local compere here, Chris. Down on the ground, you can see him walking around down there. I'll hand over to him now for the award ceremony. Come back a little bit later just to bid you all a good evening and good night.
Alors je vais demander à nos élus de nous rejoindre. Le président de l'IFFC, Marco Scolaris. Le président de la Fédération Française Montagne et Escalade, Pierre You, Juliette Payet. Notre vice-présidente, monsieur le maire de Chamonix, Éric Fournier, qui va sûrement nous dire un mot. Avec le président et le président de la Fédé internationale, monsieur Bernard Ollier, l'adjoint au sport de Chamonix, monsieur Jean-Claude Bioburnet, le président du club des sports. Monsieur Luc Chabrol, notre vice-président de la FFME, Damien You, le vice-président de l'IFFC Europe, Françoise Ducœur, vice-présidente de la FFME. Et je vais passer la parole, mesdames et messieurs, sous vos applaudissements, à monsieur Fournier, le maire de Chamonix.
Merci, bonsoir à toutes et à tous. Simplement pour vous dire d'abord l'émotion qui est la nôtre ce soir après ce magnifique spectacle, la finale de vitesse, et puis aussi le très très beau et les très très belles prestations des athlètes en e-sport tout à l'heure, je crois, qui pour cette première au championnat d'Europe nous ont émerveillés. Bravo à tous et puis merci au club des sports, à la fédération européenne, à la fédération internationale et à la fédération française, chef président et présidente. Merci beaucoup.
Applaudissements pour monsieur le maire, messieurs, dames. Deuxième à prendre la parole ce soir, notre président de la fédération internationale, Marco Scolaris.
Bonsoir à tous. On continue la tradition qu'on a inaugurée il y a 2 ans de faire le championnat en même temps en e-sport, donc paraclimbing et climbing. Je crois qu'on continue à prendre des risques. Et cette année, au moins, il ne pleut pas de monde, donc on arrive à faire encore une fois une très belle compétition. Donc merci à la ville de Chamonix qui continue, au club de sport, aux sponsors, à tout le monde. Ils m'ont dit que vous étiez 5000 ce soir sur la place. 7000, bon, c'est quand même incroyable. Et nous, de notre côté, on continue à courir sur le mur de plus en plus vite. Merci à tous.
Mesdames et messieurs, applaudissements pour Marco Scolaris, le président de l'IFFC. Et s'il vous plaît, le public, je vous demande d'accueillir les athlètes. Please welcome the athletes. Allez, les demoiselles et le podium féminin. Allez, j'entends rien, Chamonix, s'il vous plaît, applaudissements. Ladies and gentlemen, third position in speed climbing, female speed climbing. Please welcome from Russia, Mrs. Yulia Levoshkina, third place. Pour remettre la médaille, Juliette Payet va remettre la médaille de bronze. Et Jean-Claude Bioburnet, le président du club des sports, va remettre les trophées pour la médaille de bronze.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Applaudissements pour mademoiselle Levoshkina Yulia. Second place to this European Championship, please. Big applause for Poland, Miss Alexandra Rudzinska, second place. Allez, c'est Pierre You, le président de la FFME, et Bernard Ollier, adjoint au sport et vice-président de la communauté de communes, qui remet le trophée, le chèque, la médaille. And ladies and gentlemen, the European champion 2013. Please, big applause for the Russia, Anna Tsiganyovia. Marco Scolaris, le président de l'IFFC, qui remet la médaille. Et monsieur le maire de Chamonix, Éric Fournier, qui remet le chèque et le bouquet de fleurs. Allez, applaudissements le public, s'il vous plaît. Et mesdames et messieurs, je vous demande d'accueillir l'hymne national russe. Applaudissements pour les filles. Magnifique podium féminin. Congratulations ladies. Voilà le nouveau podium des championnats d'Europe 2013, mesdames et messieurs. Elles sont heureuses et maintenant elles vont faire la fête dans Chamonix. Thank you very much and congratulations. Alors le deuxième podium de la soirée sur un LMFAO endiablé, mesdames et messieurs. Veuillez accueillir le podium masculin de ces championnats d'Europe. Et ça passe plus. Oui. Et on dit qu'on n'a rien vu. Mesdames et messieurs, third position representing Ukraine. I would like a big applause for Mr. Boldyriev Danilo. La médaille va être remise par Françoise Ducœur, vice-présidente de la Fédération française montagne escalade. Le bouquet et le chèque par monsieur Jean-Claude Pilleux-Burnet, président du club des sports. Ladies and gentlemen, second position, representing Poland. I would like a big applause for Marcin Zielski. And ladies and gentlemen, the new European champion is from Republic Czechia. First position, Libor Rosa.
Everybody just have a good time. Yeah. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Let's go. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Republic Czechia national anthem. On peut les applaudir très fort, le podium masculin. Mesdames et messieurs, c'en est terminé pour cette soirée. On vous donne rendez-vous demain matin si vous êtes amoureux de la difficulté à 10 h du matin pour les demi-finales. Et ensuite demain on célébrera les finales en nocturne, ici même à partir de 20 h. Tomorrow, remember that you will have the semi-final, the lead semi-final at 10 in the morning, and after the final competition will be at 8 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night. Have a good night, everybody. Sweet dream. And see you tomorrow morning. Thank you very much, Chamonix.